Hey guys, I'm HOJ, and in today's video, we're going to be doing another best of one standard event, today with an Izzet Spellementals deck. I looked at a couple different stock versions of the deck and some versions of it on mtgxtmnt, and then just kind of, tinkered around a little bit, changed a couple cards, and this is what I landed on. So all the links are going to be in the description, and the deck list, the win rate statistics, and then the top pinned comment will have a link if you'd like to subscribe, become a member, or if you'd like to donate a one-time donation. So let's get into the deck. The Spellementals deck kind of centers around Sunderflock, which is an incredibly powerful card, which costs 9 mana, is a 5/5 flyer, and it costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest mana value among elementals you control. So ideally, the plan here is to get either a Hearth Elemental or an Eddymurk Crab into play, and then immediately after that, cast the Sunderflock for either 2 or 3 mana, and bounce all of your opponent's creatures, and then win from there. So in order to get the Hearth Elemental and the Eddymurk Crab into play, we want to play a lot of instants, a lot of cheap sorceries, and fill up our graveyard with instants and sorceries, which reduce the mana cost of both of these cards. Ideally doing that on turn 3, and then turn 4, we're hoping to do like a full bounce of all of our opponent's creatures. So in order to do that, we want to make sure we have a lot of cantrips. The 1 mana slot, we have cards like Opt and Sleight of Hand, which can help us kind of dig, fix our hand, and also put a instant or sorcery into the yard. And then we have a couple reactive spells, like a full play set of Burst Lightning to deal with cheap, annoying threats like Badger Mole Cub. And then we have a couple copies of Bounce Off to deal with like really hard to deal with threats, or potentially to protect our own Sunderflock or one of our own creatures. And then at the 2 mana slot, we have Abandoned Attachments, which is really nice because it puts multiple cards into the yard and also helps us filter and draw. And then we have a full play set of Does Machines. And this is one that I sort of stumbled upon. And I'm sure maybe other people have found out this, but I didn't see it in any of the stock lists. This is really nice at the base level for 2 mana. As an enchantment, when it enters, you mill 2 cards, draw 2 cards, and then discard 2 cards. So potentially filling up anywhere between 2 to 4 spells into your yard, and also drawing cards, which is just fantastic. Level 2 and level 3 we're not really going to use because we don't really have artifacts in the deck, and it does everything we need it to do at the base level. And then 2 copies of Detect Intrusion to kind of deal with board wipes, major problematic things once we've kind of established control. And that's the deck. We have, I believe, 20 lands, and the breakdown for the land count: 6 basic islands, a full play set of Riverpyre Verge, Spirebluff Canal, Steam Vents, and then 2 copies of Multiversal Passage just to help make sure we can hit our red mana on time. But that's the deck, and let's go ahead and hop in. This has been like a really kind of a fun deck to play. I definitely wasn't sure how much fun it would be to play, and did a couple games just for fun to kind of get an idea, and it is really fun to play. So highly recommend it if you haven't already. And let's jump in. But yeah, the main idea is to get ideally 3 spells into our yard going into turn 3, so that we can play either the Hearth Elemental or the Crab on turn 3, and then set up for a turn 4 Sunderflock and bounce everything. Opening hand looks great. I really like Does Machines. I think it just is fantastic for this deck. Let's see what we're up against here. Okay, so this could be Izzet Prowess. This could be the Lessons deck. There's a lot of different variations on Izzet. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and start with a simple Sleight of Hand. Okay, we have 4 land, or I suppose 3 land here. Abandoned Attachments is a really nice one. That being said, we have 2 copies of Does Machines, which is almost better. And we want to make sure we're able to hit 4 land on turn 4. So I don't know if it's right, but I'm going to go ahead and take the land here. Most likely we probably would have hit land with Does Machines, so I don't think it really matters, but we'll see. But yeah, Does Machines just seems really good for what this deck is trying to do. Oh, then also you have Winternight Stories, which is really good because not only can you draw 3 and discard 2, but you can also easily harmonize it. Typically, once you have your Hearth Elemental or Crab in play, you can just pay a single blue and tap it and do another draw 3, discard 2. So Winternight Stories is a really nice card to have in the deck. And I've only played a handful of games with this deck, so I'm sure some of you are going to be much more proficient. But it seems like a really cool deck. I guess our opponent just kind of timed out. All right, so now we can discard. Let's see, we've already got 1 spell in the yard. I think we can probably pitch the Winternight Stories. And maybe a land. Or I guess maybe this Detect Intrusion. I'm not super worried about Izzet colors here. And now we should be able to cast Hearth Elemental on time on turn 3. We can also do Does Machines, and then probably do Does Machines and Hearth Elemental, as long as we make sure we can get 5 spells into the yard. And I guess, yeah, our opponent's just fully timing out here. But yeah, between like a full playset of Does Machines and Abandoned Attachments, I think we have like a really good way of just getting everything happening on time. Here we can go Does Machines. And now, let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 in the yard, so we want to make sure we get at least 1 more spell so we can discard the Abandoned Attachments and the Multiversal Passage. And that will allow us to cast our Hearth Elemental for 1. And then the idea would be we would try to find the Sunderflock like next turn and hopefully play it. So we could go like land, Winternight Stories, see 3 more cards, and then potentially still play Sunderflock if we were able to find it. The other card I was considering that's kind of similar to Does Machines and Abandoned Attachments is Chart a Course. It's another way where you can draw and discard, or draw 2 cards and then discard, so it can be kind of nice. I don't know if you want a full 12, but you could potentially go that direction. Basically, I just want to make this deck as consistent as humanly possible, just to make sure that you always get your turn 3 Hearth Elemental or Crab, and then turn 4 board wipe. Or Sunderflock. That's the plan, at least. If anybody else has played this deck, put in the comments. I'd love to hear kind of, what you guys think of it. If it's a deck that you think is kind of fun to play. Or if there's like another deck that you want to see, maybe. Okay, so we've got Does Machines, we have Hearth Elemental, we have Sunderflock. We've got sort of the combo, as it were. A couple land. Yeah, this hand looks great. It's always going to depend like what we're up against, of course. I think this deck will do better against creature decks, but it should still have some okay game, maybe against control. Oh, actually, this is kind of funny. This is sort of helping us do the thing. This seems like maybe this is just might be a budget deck, perhaps, but maybe it's something special. Yeah, we can probably get rid of the Detect Intrusion. We want to get the spell in the yard anyways, so that kind of works. Now we can start digging. Okay, this is really nice. Yeah, we already have 3 cards in the yard, or 3 spells, I should say. And now we can probably do... I think we want to get at least one more, maybe like the Bounce Off, and... Do we want 4 land? Like, we could throw the Opt in there, but could also use that next turn. I guess we don't really need 4 land because we could still do Sunderflock for 3. So maybe pitch one of the lands. Right, well now we'll go ahead and pitch the Opt. Okay, now we can Hearth Elemental. And just do it again, and then Winternight Stories, which feels pretty good. And let's just pitch some land, I think. And then we can just get the Sunderflocks going. I suppose we could maybe like keep a land and pitch the Sleight of Hand. I think we can do 1 Sunderflock at a time. It's probably fine. Either way, I think it's fine. Oh, you know what? Oh, that was a mistake. I should have played the other Hearth Elemental first. I forgot we got rid of one of our spells. Oh well. So yeah, in hindsight, I should have played the other Hearth Elemental before doing the Winternight Stories. Okay, let's get another Winternight Stories. But as long as they don't kill our Hearth Elemental, we should still be able to Sunderflock here. Famous last words. Okay. So a little bit more setup. Okay, let's go ahead and Hearth Elemental. Hopefully it survives. Otherwise, we could try to do it in 1 turn. We could try to get some more land and then like Hearth Elemental and Sunderflock in the same turn in case they have more like removal like this. So maybe that's the way to do it. And I think I just want to lose the spells here and keep the creatures. It's pretty good against duress. Let's lose maybe a Hearth Elemental here. Okay, so now we can Hearth Elemental plus Crab. Since we're stuck on 3 land here, we could also Winternight Stories here again. Try to hit some more land, and then still Crab. Maybe that's the way. Do it while we have it. Yeah, I guess why not? And again, I think I want to keep the creatures around so we can lose the Canal and the Opt. And hold up Crab. Ooh, that's brutal. Betrayal is actually completely a blowout. Okay, so we got a Crab in response here. Yeah, Graveyard Destruction is pretty brutal. Hopefully no removal for the Crab. And I spoke too soon. Alright, this might be a very short game. Let's see, we don't have any artifact stuff. This just doesn't even matter. Yeah, I forgot about the graveyard hate. Okay, Does Machines is a good one. But unfortunately not going to be quite enough to get the job done. Alright, hated out by discard. Brutal. Yeah, and if you see better lines, I mean, definitely feel free to put in the comments. I'm sure that could have played that differently. All right, opening hand looks okay. We have some stuff we need. We do need some card draw with some ways to get stuff into the yard, but I'm willing to keep it, see where it goes. Okay, Winternight Stories is a good one. And I will bounce this here just to kind of buy some time and also get something in the yard. It's a nice pickup. Can get a couple spells into the yard. Just a little more to go before we get crabs online. Here they probably take stories. Or if I were them, yeah, I'd probably take stories. That works too. I guess we just pitch a couple. Do we want these abandoned attachments in the yard? So this is going to be in our yard. We're going to have 4. Could probably use 1 more. So maybe we'll put like 1 abandoned attachments and an island in the yard. Now we can play crab for 2. Those jerks. Oh man, strategic betrayal is such a beating. Gotta start all over. Does Machines is really good. We could do Opt right now though. But I think Does Machines is just amazing. All right, Burst Lightning we probably want to use on the bat. Can do Winternight Stories. Although I suppose if we do Burst Lightning, we would be able to play the Hearth Elemental. I think we want to kill the bat. So I guess we can just do Stories plus maybe a crab. Okay, now we can go for crab on their turn. We could also just go for Hearth Elemental plus Stories. Or just like double Elemental is pretty good as well. We're at 14. So there's a chance if we go for like Elemental, we could then go Stories and then have enough spells, hopefully, if we discard 2 more, that we could then do another Elemental. I think I'm just going to play a second Elemental just to be safe, just to make sure we have 2 bodies. Like, there's a chance we hit, there's a chance we don't. Okay, we've got removal for the first one. Do they have more? Hopefully not. Okay, now we can Sunderflock for 3, and then Stories, which feels pretty good. Could also just play another Hearth Elemental, and I suppose we could play 2 more. Go to 7. Yeah, that feels pretty good. The only danger here is if like they have like a board wipe on 5. I don't know if they run them. I don't think they do, but it is kind of a gamble. We could just go like Stories and just like go half on it, but they're at 25, so I think I'm just gonna push. Kind of a judgment call thing if you want to go for it. Again, I don't know if they have like if they have cover up here, we're certainly screwed, but I don't think they run it based on like the fact they have a bunch of creatures. Okay, now we can just Crab, and then push, and then Stories. Keep the other Crab, and we'll lose the land, and I guess probably Stories, so we can just cast it for 1 and then have the Burst Lightning in case we need it. Could do another Stories right away, but I think I just want to push. Yeah, especially if they want to recast their Blight Priest or their Cleric. This is probably a Conqueror deck since they've got the Clerics and the Blight Priest. But yeah, that should do it unless they've got something else here. Triumph, sure. And that's 12 exactly, so that'll work. All right, 2 and 1. Can we keep it going? Man, getting our graveyard ripped apart though, whew, it's brutal. All right, opening hand looks great. We've got an Elemental, does machines, abandoned attachments, and then hopefully we can draw into Sunderflock. No 1-drop, but does machines is pretty good and gives us a decent shot being able to go for Hearth Elemental on 3. Okay, there's a 1-drop. could be Rakdos discard. It looks like it, potentially. So we're just going to go ahead and Burst Lightning Face just to get this into the yard. I think Des Machines is a little bit better than the Abandoned Attachments, just at like the raw ability to get stuff into the yard. So now we've got 2. Do we want to hold Intrusion here? I don't think so. I think we just want to keep juice in the yard. And yeah, because next turn we want to go Hearth Elemental. So I think we just want to put both of these in the yard. Do need some more red sources. But next turn we can also go for Crab. So yeah, maybe I guess maybe we could have kept like the Abandoned Attachments potentially. This is a problem if they have Graveyard Hate. Zuko. Okay, I guess we're just going for Crab here. And then Sunderflock the turn after that. Once we go to combat, we'll tap their stuff. Yeah, I guess kind of like backing in with an Eddymurk Crab. And then like if we have 4 land, we can go like Elemental plus Sunderflock the following turn. Like if they kill the Crab, and we still have a way of getting the Sunderflock into play. All right, that's good enough. Yeah, we can do both. I guess like technically while we have priority, we should probably do Sunderflock first just to be safe in case they have some kind of removal, but just as a general habit. You don't want to give them a window to kill your guy before you can play the Sunderflock. Three and 1. Yeah, this deck is sweet. But especially after seeing all the Graveyard Hate, like it makes me want to play maybe like even Chart a Course also, just to be able to refill. That'd be a little bit crazy though, going like the full 12 stack of draw 2 discard. Like it hasn't come up yet, but I think having access to Detect Intrusion and Bounce Off is potentially just kind of nice to have. Got half the combo, just need some more creatures. Hopefully we can get there with Burst Lightning and Sleight. Looks like mono white Lifegain. And yeah, first order of business is Burst Lightning that Sanctifier. Right quick and in a hurry. Not even gonna let him untap. Yeah, Pridemate is pretty sad without the Lifegain sources to go with it. Alright, let's Sleight, see if we can find something. Guess we'll take another Canal. So we need a Crab or a Hearth Elemental. Ooh, Halaya is nasty. They're getting the free card for sure. Plus the bat. They're getting real close to hitting the Leyline. Yeah, that's a nice pickup for them. Okay, there's Crab. It's good to see. We still got to go for stories though, because we don't have enough mana, or we don't have enough cards in the yard yet. Yeah, they got a very big board very quickly. So, man, that's a pretty weak hit here. I guess we're gonna decline, and I think we won't have time to spend 3 mana again like this. So I think we probably pitch the stories and the steam vents. Or actually, I suppose Detect Intrusion would be better to get that into the yard. Yeah, so now we can go Eddymurk Crab for 2, and then Sunderflock for 2. So as long as we can live through this turn. Oh, geez. Woo! It's going to be a lot harder than it looks. Good lord. Oh my god. Man, double Leyline is crazy. Okay. It is definitely, yeah, Crab into Sunderflock. We're at 2 life, though. They're at 36. Oh my god. Whew. Banishing Light is a good start. Okay. Attacking is definitely not going to solve the issue here alone. Man, this is going to be... I have no idea if we can actually win this. Guess we'll start with stories. Maybe we go Hearth Elemental and then stories, potentially attacking. Do we want to do Does Machines first? I guess like what sees the most cards is probably stories. Okay. Definitely losing the steam vents and probably the island. Okay, so we can go Crab on their turn and not die. I guess if we Burst Lightning face, then we can get another card into our yard and still be able to Crab. So we can do all that next turn, though. No attacks. Actually, I should have attacked. That was a mistake. We're hoping they block. Oh my god. Whew. Yeah, their baseline is a 5/5, so Burst Lightning's really not doing anything. I don't know how much longer we can keep this going, but let's try. I guess let's Hearth Elemental into Stories. And we found it. Okay, so we get rid of the bounce off. Actually, bounce off is, we're going to need that for later. So I think we lose these ones here. Play another Hearth Elemental. Yeah, actually, we'll do it this way. Okay, so now we can Hearth Elemental into Sunderflock. We're going to have to bounce off our Sunderflock and then replay it. Swing for like 25. Oh my god. They're going to gain so much life. All right, they're already back up to 44. We got to top deck super well to get out of this, because they can gain like 15 life just by playing 4 creatures, which is crazy. Oh, that was a misclick. They didn't get any life off that. Assume they take Sunderflock here. It'd be hilarious if we actually pull this out somehow. Oh my god. And that's why we kept the Multiversal Passage, just in case we drew one of those. Yep, keep it going. Okay. Maybe we should have held the land there. I guess we can't play this. We just draw 2, discard 2. So we got to hold this for next turn. All right, so if we full push here, we're pushing 22 exactly, which means they have to block. However, if they block with a Ruin Lurker Bat, they can attack back and kill us. So they don't know what we have in our hand. If they think we're bluffing, they could just block there and we lose the game. If we attack with, oh my god, everything but one Hearth Elemental, they don't have to block. And then they could gain a bunch of silly life next turn also. That's probably the safer play. I think that's probably the play. And like we could also leave 2 creatures back if we think they have like another Shelter by Ghosts, because we just lose to that. Actually, if they have Shelter by Ghosts, we just lose, period. So maybe we full push and try to bluff. Although now we're hesitating so long that like they probably don't believe us anymore. Oh my god. All right, I'm just going to attack with all but 1 and see what happens. Yeah, if they have Banishing Light or if they have another Shelter by Ghost, we're just done. Problem is they can gain like so much life, it's crazy. Good God, they're already back up to 21. Oh no, not a second one. Please no. Oh my God. Oh, why? Oh, okay, so now we need to rip another Sunderflock. They didn't attack. They could have attacked there and just killed. Oh my God, what a game. It's not over yet either, which is hilarious. I think now we're probably out of the woods. Man, what a game. Woo! Got there. Oh, man. Oh, the Sunderflock off the top. All right, 4-1. Hanging tough. Can still do it. That game was awesome. All right, we got Hearth Elementals, a little bit of early game. We need some card draw, but we do have land. So I think I'm going to give it a go. Yeah, I will pretty much shoot anything. Ooh, Does Machines. I love that. Completely in for that. All right, I think we pitch the Stories and the Intrusion. We want all the mana, everything else. Ooh, Crab is pretty good. We can Crab for 3. We could also Hearth Elemental for 2 and Stories. I like Crab here, though. Plus, if we miss, we can also If they kill the crab, though, then we kind of have to restart. So is it better to go for elemental into stories? I think crab is better here. I'm just going to go with crab. Not sure if it's right. The other thing we could do is if they have like sorcery speed removal or enchantment or whatever, maybe we just take the damage and then just to be super safe, play this like end of turn and not even try to like stop the damage. On the other hand, if they have like, you know, a 2 mana instant speed kill spell, it's better to save the damage. I guess I'm going to crabs. They've only got 1 card in hand. I feel like if they have removal, it's probably at instant speed. Ah! Of course it's sorcery speed. Oh my god. Kicking myself here. Man, I hate to lose all this stuff, but it's probably... God, no, that can't be right. We need a big draw next turn, for sure. Because I don't think we want to pitch the hand. Like, maybe we have to? If we just draw a land, like, we're probably losing. I guess we should have taken the pain and then, like... Can we survive 2 turns? Maybe not. I'm gonna hang on to it. Man, strategic betrayal has been like the bane of my existence this tournament. And like my spidey sense was right. We definitely should have waited until end of turn. Ooh, bounce off is great. Do we want more land? Only got 1 spell in the yard. Yeah, we probably want the land. So I guess we pitch 2 Hearth Elementals and then we keep the bounce off so we don't die. Although I guess if we do it this way, we could bounce off one of the stalkers and then potentially block this, which feels pretty good. Yeah, I think I like that. Although I suppose we're not blocking because they could sack to kill it. Alright, whatever. Oh, you know what? Oh, that was a mistake. Because now they can use the Bloodthorn Flail to equip and then sack this to kill it. Ah. Yep. Saw it a minute too late. So we should have waited until my next turn. We would go down to 2 and then be able to bounce everything. Yep, that's going to do it, unfortunately. Whew. I guess just, yeah, like if we can survive the turn, if we know we can, we want to play like the crab at the very end of their turn just to be super safe. against sorcery speed removal. Because it's just not worth losing the crab. Although it's kind of crazy because it's a 5/5, like you'd think it'd be more resilient. But against mono black, like, you know, or anything that has black, less likely. Do we keep? We have Elemental, Sunderflock. We've got Sleight of Hand. This is kind of greedy, but I think we keep. Like, we can go Sleight into a second land, then get attachments going. I think I'm going to keep. This might be wrong. We've got Bounce Off to try to buy a little bit of time if we kind of screw up. Oh yeah, there we go. Can pretend to have a counter and then use Abandoned Attachments. Although we might just have to burn that. I guess we don't really need to burn it. If we can just get Hearth Elemental going. But I feel like we should try. If they've got the protection, we can just bounce it instead. Yeah, and it's still fine. Works for me. All right, now let's abandon attachments. Ooh, no land is brutal, though. I was hoping to hit a land there. That's funny. Seam Rip with nothing, just to get the counter. Yeah, I suppose it makes sense. All right, so now we should take our own advice and crab at like the super end of turn, so we don't screw up. And then we can get Sunderflock going. So yeah, just hold here. Vendor. I think we take the hit, because again, like they could use either Seam Rip or Shelter by Ghosts. I guess we can wait to see if they pay the 1. Or not Seam Rip, but we'll see if they want to pay 1 mana. If they pay the mana, then I can tap them safely. Boom! Get him out! We don't need land. Oh, a little land would be nice, though. Do they have the Shelter by Ghosts? I hope not. Inquisitor. Probably do these ones first, so maybe the Abandoned Attachments. I might just pitch it to the yard anyways. Okay, we've got stories. I think we really want to hit land here. Gotta try for it. Okay, that feels so much better. Let's discard stories, and I guess does machines. I think we want to have just like more Hearth Elementals. That's probably better. Although we could use another Sunderflock. Maybe pitch that in a land. Yeah, I can see that. hit him for 5 in the air, and then we probably just drop Elemental. Can do Stories next turn if we need to. Just get a little bit more board presence. I think it's going to be huge. All right, taking 10. Maybe we're supposed to block in case they draw like the get him in the air spell. All right, let's see. Guess we can go Hearth Elemental for... Actually, let's go for Stories first. Just to see if we can hit another Sunderflock. Okay, discarding Steam Vents and Stories to make it cheap. So we could do another Elemental and another Stories. I think actually getting rid of one of their creatures might be worth it, though. Could also opt. See if we can hit another land. Yeah, I think just because like getting rid of these triggers might be nice. Let's go ahead and Burst Lightning. And then just drop an Elemental as another blocker. Give ourselves a little bit of redundancy. If they draw the flying, we just lose, but as long as they don't draw that, I think we're okay. Nice, got there. All right, 5 and 2. Okay, opening hand looks good. We got a little bit of draw, a little bit of removal. Hearth Elemental. We're on the play. Feels good so far. I guess we just hold up Burst Lightning here. I don't know if we're supposed to burn this one, but I'm going to do it because I want to get stuff in the yard. And then we'll abandon attachments next. Fear of Surveillance. Okay. Do we want to get rid of the bounce off? The bounce off is pretty nice, especially against this deck in particular. If we don't, we might not be able to cast the Hearth Elemental is the only issue. I think I'm going to hold the bounce off just because this deck is so crazy with all of the Lifegain nonsense. And now we can do Does Machines. Can also burn that. I think we want to burn that just to keep them from getting too out of hand. All right, so let's do Does Machines. Ooh, there's a Sunderflock. Okay, let's get rid of Steam Vents. And I suppose the bounce off. Since we've got, you know, a bigger version of bounce. Man, I don't know if we're supposed to get rid of the bounce off, though. It's so good against them. Maybe we just let this thing ride. Pitch the Burst Lightning. Or we could lose both of the lands. But I feel like we want 4 land here. Yeah, I guess we pitched the Burst Lightning. Man, that's wild. I don't know if that was right. Maybe we were supposed to burn it and then just do the other stuff. Seam Rip, sure. Does machines, does not do anything for us. I think we hang on to the bounce off. Can opt. Ooh, abandoned attachments is really nice. And I don't know if we want a Hearth Elemental before we Sunderflock. I think we just do it on the same turn. I guess I could have held the abandoned attachments there. Man. Alright, fine. We'll toss the bounce off. Could Burst Lightning, could hold it. Could opt. I'm just going to hold it. Scavenger. Okay, I'm almost sure they have protection here. Yeah, they definitely have it. I think we want to get it out of their hand, though, so we might as well just try to burn it and then make them use it. There it is. Just like clockwork. Okay, so now if we play Elemental... then we can Sunderflock for 3. I think we hold the Steam Vents as a discard option. Although I suppose we could opt and write. We lose 2 life, we get to opt. I think we hold it. Double Scavenger. All right. See if we can find some more stuff. Ooh, that's a nice one. Pitch the Stories, I guess. Or I suppose we could, if we want to double Stories, I think we just push, though. All right, I guess in that case, we pitch the opt and the land, we could just like Stories and attack. Push 9. Or do we try to like fill our hand even more? We probably try to fill our hand even more if we're being honest. Okay, so in that case, I guess I'm going to pitch a land and Stories. All right, let's get rid of some other nonsense. Probably the... I suppose we could opt. I'd rather keep the Does Machines, though. Do we want to play a second land? Yeah, I guess actually now we want to pitch these two, play the Steam Vents, and then be able to crab. Or just Sunderflock again. I think we just Sunderflock again. Just keep resetting him. Oh yeah, now that we've got Crab, we can use Crab, push 14, and then kill him with Burst Lightning. That'll work. That'll work. And on to the next. Yeah, this deck is sweet. Does Machines is awesome. Like, I'm so happy I put that card in this deck. All right, winning in. Final boss for all the prizes. Can we get it done? This hand looks sweet. It's like all card draw, but I'm totally in for it. Slight. Oh yeah, there we go. Definitely want Hearth Elemental for sure. Elves are getting Burst Lightning right away. Not even waiting. Ooh. Stories is really good. Problem is we can't cast it yet if we don't draw a land. Although we probably can with Opt. I mean, Attachments is also great. And we can cast that. But we do have 2 Opts. Like, Stories is so good, though. I guess, like, Attachments is sort of like the safe play. With 2 Opts, though, I think I'm going to go big. Hopefully we don't have to regret that decision. Okay, need land. Need land badly. Still need land. That'll work. Gotta find a way to pitch stories. So yeah, I am kicking myself for not taking the other one. Ooh, Hydra is super nasty. Need a Sunderflock stat. They can potentially kill us next turn. Oh, there's Sunderflock. Question is if we hold Intrusion in case they have like, if they have like Gift of Nylea or whatever it's called to get like 2 more land, we probably just lose. I don't think they have too many fight spells. They might have like Melt Strider's nonsense to fight. I think we hold up Detect Intrusion though. Actually, I guess is Nylea, is that an enchantment? I can't remember. They have another. They have a. I know there's another spell that they have, like a creature or something that gives them 2 lands, where they can sack a land and something. So the question is, like, do we try to play it safe with Detect Intrusion, or do we just try to, like, hope to not die? Because if they have like a tap sack land, it goes to 4 and then 8. They just need 1 more doubling and we lose. So I think I'm going to try to play it safe with Detect Intrusion. This is a big turn. Earthbender Ascension. Can't counter that one, unfortunately. Oh wait, I can I can Detect Intrusion on the Mossborn trigger, I believe, right? So we can stop the doubling. Yeah, they could have gone to 16. So now they can only go to 8. Which is still really bad news. But we don't just die. Yeah, so clutch play there with Detect Intrusion. All right, now we can passage. Got red or blue? Probably blue. Go to 6. Sunderflock, and then... Oh no, we can't stories yet, but we can elemental. And again, there's another option where I should have cast the Hearth Elemental first. Never mind, or the Sunderflock first. So yeah, we did it right. Oh god, this is an elemental. Oh no. Oh no. Oh crap. Oh my god, we're gonna lose. Oh, that's a beating. So if they double once, if all they have is like 1 land, I guess they can make this a 9 and then double, make it 18. Yeah. We don't have enough. We could triple block and not die, but then like we're just not going anywhere. This being an elemental was such a beating. Didn't quite get there, but I mean it was fun. You know, it was definitely definitely a good ride. Got a couple packs. But yeah, I recommend the deck. The deck is fun. Kind of looking back at it, I think what I like a lot, I think Does Machines was amazing. I would absolutely run a full play set of this. If you want to go even bigger, maybe find room for like Chart a Course in addition to Abandoned Attachments and Does Machines. Like, I think you definitely want like the full play set of Stories. It's really good to just kind of get like keep the deck churning. Yeah, like you really kind of have to ask yourself, I guess, like how important is Bounce Off and Detect Intrusion, because that would be what you're cutting for Chart a Course. And I don't know if like this interaction is important enough to keep or not, or if you just want to be like ultra consistent and just have like all of the card draw. I'm kind of personally in favor of just like all of the card draw, but then again, like you have no way to protect yourself from board wipes. You can't like bounce your Sunderflock and redo it. So maybe this is a better version, but I definitely think the Does Machines did a fantastic job and highly recommend it. Yeah, so that's the deck. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one.